Good morning. This is Akashvani. I'm Anuja Kumar with the World News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for early review of ASEAN-India Free Trade Agreement to unlock full economic potential. Stresses the need for unity in fight against terror. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to represent India at the 20th East Asia Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia today. 8th session of International Solar Alliance Assembly to begin today in New Delhi. Hurricane Melissa intensifies into a Category 4 storm, resulting in 5 Caribbean nations to evacuate low-lying areas. And in cricket, last league match of ICC Women's World Cup between India and Bangladesh called off due to rain in Navi Mumbai. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and ASEAN leaders jointly reviewed progress in the ASEAN-India relations and discussed initiatives for strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership. In his address, Prime Minister reiterated India's support for ASEAN unity, ASEAN centrality and the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific. He complimented ASEAN on adoption of the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. He emphasized that early review of the ASEAN-India FTA can unleash the full economic potential of our relationship for the benefit of our people and further strengthen regional cooperation. Mr. Modi also said that terrorism is a serious challenge to global peace and security and stressed the importance of unity in the fight against terrorism. During his address, Prime Minister announced extended support for implementation of the ASEAN-India Plan of Action to implement the ASEAN-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership from 2026 to 2030. He also proposed to organize the second ASEAN-India Defence Ministers meeting and the second ASEAN-India Maritime Exercise for a secure maritime environment. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will represent India at the 20th East Asia Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia today. The East Asia Summit will provide an opportunity to deliberate on the challenges to peace, stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region and also exchange views on regional and international developments. Dr. Jaishankar met Singapore's Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan on the sidelines of the 47th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur yesterday, where both ministers participated in high-level regional diplomatic engagements. The External Affairs Minister also held talks with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and discussed India-Malaysia bilateral cooperation. Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan attended the swearing-in ceremony of the new President of Seychelles, Dr. Patrick Hermini, yesterday. Mr. Radhakrishnan, who is on a 2-day visit to Seychelles, also met the Prime Minister of Mauritius, Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam. They reflected on the strong and enduring bonds rooted in shared history and culture between both the countries. They also discussed ways to further strengthen India-Mauritius bilateral relations. The Vice President also addressed the members of the Indian diaspora in Seychelles. He also highlighted Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision.
PM Modi ji's vision of mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions. Mahasagar reflects our shared commitment to a free, open and secure Indian Ocean. Seychelles is a vital partner in India's vision, Mahasagar.
Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal will visit Brussels in Belgium today on a 2-day visit to hold high-level discussions with Maroš Šefčovič, Executive Vice President and European Commissioner for Trade of the European Union. The visit comes at a crucial stage in the ongoing India-EU Free Trade Agreement negotiations as both sides intensify efforts to conclude a comprehensive, balanced and mutually beneficial trade agreement at the earliest. Building on the momentum generated by the 14th round of negotiations held earlier this month, the minister's visit aims to provide strategic direction and political impetus to the talks. This is Akashvani giving you the world news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download the News on AIR app. The 8th session of the International Solar Alliance Assembly will begin today at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. 124 countries will participate in the 4-day event and over 40 ministers from across the globe will attend the session. The event will bring the global community together to deepen cooperation and accelerate solar adoption for a brighter and sustainable future. Our correspondent reports that the member countries will review progress, address challenges and align actions towards one vision: affordable solar energy for all.
The Solar Alliance will take forward the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi of harnessing the power of solar energy. India has achieved 50% of its total installed electricity generation capacity from non-fossil fuel sources 5 years ago, ahead of its target. India is the third world largest solar producer and world second largest market for renewable energy growth. The International Solar Alliance is an international organization with 124 member and signatory countries. It works with governments to improve energy access and security worldwide and promote solar power as a sustainable transition to a carbon-neutral future. It also promotes the use of solar energy in the agriculture, health, transport and power generation sectors. Akshit Vaidyan, Akashvani News, Delhi.
India and China have resumed their direct flights after a 5-year gap. An Indigo flight carrying 176 passengers on board departed from Kolkata Airport last night for Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport. The move aims to facilitate trade, tourism and people-to-people connections. Indigo will operate daily non-stop flights between Kolkata and Guangzhou. Additional flights between Delhi and Guangzhou start on November 10th, while the Shanghai-Delhi route will resume on 9th of November. The flights were earlier suspended due to COVID-19 pandemic, bringing in heavy travel restrictions. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati and Palestinian Vice President Hussein al-Sheikh discussed Gaza's reconstruction and the political situation in the Palestinian territories during a phone call. Egypt's foreign ministry said that they yesterday reviewed preparations for a Gaza reconstruction conference to be held in Egypt next month and urged greater international support and funding to address Palestinians' humanitarian and developmental needs. The two also discussed efforts to reconcile Palestinian factions and reforms within the Palestinian Authority. Hurricane Melissa intensifies into a Category 4 storm with wind speed of 140 miles per hour, resulting 5 Caribbean nations, Haiti, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, and the Bahamas to evacuate the low-lying areas. Authorities warn the hurricane could be Jamaica's strongest on record, bringing up to 35 inches of rain and storm surges over 8 feet. The storm has already killed 4 people. Jamaica's meteorological service said hurricane conditions will begin today, with landfall expected tomorrow. In Cuba, thousands have been evacuated, streets cleared, and 6 provinces placed under hurricane watch. And in cricket, the final league stage match at the ICC Women's ODI World Cup match between India and Bangladesh was called off due to rain at the Dr. D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai last night. Chasing a Duckworth-Lewis turn revised target of 126 in 27 overs, India were 57 for no loss in 8.4 overs when another heavy drizzle forced the players into the dugout. Earlier, Bangladesh could score only 119 runs for 9 wickets in their allotted 27 overs, with both teams getting 1 point each. India finished 4th with 7 points from 3 wins and 1 no result. Bangladesh ended 7th in the standings with 3 points, the same as Pakistan. And now, before we close, here are the highlights of the bulletin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for early review of ASEAN-India Free Trade Agreement to unlock full economic potential, stresses the need for unity in fight against terror. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to represent India at 20th East Asia Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia today. 8th session of International Solar Alliance Assembly to begin today in New Delhi. Hurricane Melissa intensifies into Category 4 storm, resulting in 5 Caribbean nations to evacuate low-lying areas. And in cricket, last league match of ICC Women's World Cup between India and Bangladesh called off due to rain in Navi Mumbai. And that is the end of this news bulletin.